Well, ladies and gentlemen, Kamala Harris has finally said something. She has not officially said anything publicly since, I believe, the concession speech the day after the election. And this is going viral, whatever this is. I mean, this is really bad. This is next level. This is like you would think one of her aides would say, maybe you shouldn't release this. This looks terrible. I mean, she's like drunk times five. Let's see what this is.
I just have to remind you, don't you ever let anybody take your power from you. You have the same power that you did before November 5th. And you have the same purpose that you did. And you have the same ability to engage and inspire. So don't ever let anybody or any circumstance take your power from you.
It's just sad at this point. It really is. There it is. The favorite for the 2028 Democratic nominee. No, she's not going to be the nominee in 2028. But I did see another poll that had Kamala up. It's mainly name recognition. I can guarantee you the Democrats will not allow that again. But yeah, I mean, my goodness, totally dazed, looks completely drunk, can barely talk. You look at her eyes. I mean, this is like, you would think that they would say maybe wait a day or something. But yeah, there is Kamala Harris. We also do have CNN arguing, and just the liberal people are so angry. This has got to be such a shell shock for them when you think about the context of the Elon Musk mainstream media takeover with X and everything. 4 years ago, they controlled everything. Now they're on the verge of controlling basically nothing if Musk does end up getting MSNBC, because you take that, I mean, you do still have CNN, there's some other liberal independent people and stuff, but just the entire culture shifted with Elon Musk, and these people are coping with it. These people saying, well, who's your source that X is more balanced than any other platform? Scott Jennings says CNN is the source. That's because CNN, after the election, did a study. I don't know if they did their own poll or what, but the question was, are you liberal or conservative, and do you use X? And the people that used X, it modeled the electorate of the people that used X that were political. 48% of them were liberal, 47 of them were conservative. So it's like the exact same thing as with what happened to our country, and our country's basically 50-50. And liberals can't cope with that. They need a vast majority. CNN had that same exact poll back in 2022, just 2 years ago, and it was like 70-30. Democrat over Republican. But the fact that now it's 50-50, and listen, we're not oblivious to Musk and the power that he has. It's clear that he's pushing Trump's agenda. He's part of Doge. We get that. But just the general sense is, and this is why it's going to be really hard to beat it in terms of another social media platform like a Blue Sky or whatever, because whether it's a Parler or a Blue Sky or what have you, it's going to be ridiculously one way. It's going to be either slanted heavily conservative or heavily Democrat. It's going to be a liberal cesspool, or it's going to be a conservative cesspool. And that's the major problem with it. But these people are just trying to cope. CNN is with the fact that Musk has totally changed everything when it comes to driving the narrative, how we get our news, and it's a complete game changer. Taking over Twitter was a total game changer. There's no doubt about it.
Continue to say after the show, but you cannot say that.
So,
So that's the case.
So
Who's the source of that?
What I find, we reported it on this network.
Who's the source that X is non-biased? Your own network did a poll and a study from the election that said 48% of the people that use X were Democrat, 47% were Republican, 48-47. And then I would imagine the other 6-7%, whatever, were independent. But I mean, that's very, very good, and models the actual American electorate, which is what you want. Now, obviously, you're going to get your little echo chambers within X, depending on who you follow, the news that you get. And again, we understand Elon Musk is more conservative at this point, but it's not like this. They're acting like it's this Republican echo chamber. They're just used to it always being a liberal echo chamber. They can't cope with someone else's opinion, and so now they're pissed off that, oh my God, it's not 70-30 Democratic advantage on Twitter anymore.
It's not accurate, and you know it.
Okay.
CNN report.
I'll let you make your statement.
Scott,
but my point is
can I reframe it a different way? Because the site changed radically, right? So whether you think the voices it is somehow more balanced now, that's fine. But no doubt Musk's influence is profound, and that you open it up and now you're there with his opinion and he is now part of this administration. So does anyone else think that there should be
That's a fair point. But we have to go, we're going from a heavy liberal majority to being 50-50.
this greater concern about billionaires purchasing media companies?
Okay. Would you be worried if Bill Gates controlled MSNBC?
No, because he's sane.
Because MS
Also,
He just asked, would you be worried about Bill Gates controlling something like X? And then she said no. Well, yes, that's because Bill Gates is liberal. So that's the issue, right? And they didn't have any worries about. They didn't care when liberals silenced conservatives back in 2020 during that whole ordeal. Remember, these are the same people that use disinformation as a reason to why. Although most of them don't use that excuse, but some of them do, as a reason to why Trump won the Elon Musk factor. They had total control over every social media. Mark Zuckerberg admitted it in a letter that, the FBI and the CIA told us to silence any story involving the Hunter Biden family corruption and everything like that. And that's why that story got silenced, and it was the only October surprise. And they had that much control over the media. Imagine 4 years later, that's been slashed completely. And now it looks like Zuckerberg might be a libertarian, or at least less left-leaning. He donated like $400 million back in 2019, 2020 during that campaign. Nobody cares. Now these people freak out when Elon Musk gives away a few million to voters. Meanwhile, you got Zuckerberg donating $500 million. It's total double standards. But that is the thing with CNN there. You've also got this. Arizona finally finished counting the votes yesterday, a mere 20 days after. Well, listen, we're still getting votes trickling in from a lot of different states. I've seen Missouri have new votes. I've seen liberal states have new votes. California's still counting. It's a total mess, but it looks like Arizona is finally done. Trump ends up winning Arizona by 5.5. That was expected. I don't think it really changed once it got up to like 95% of the vote. And some of these states will change drastically with like the late liberal mail-in votes, or I don't even know what they are. But this state ends with Trump plus 5.5 in Arizona. So Arizona is, you can see this puts Arizona in the same category as Minnesota, Kamala plus 4, Virginia, Kamala plus 5, New Mexico, Kamala plus 6, New Jersey, Kamala plus 6. Yeah, well, I mean, Trump won by so much in the non-swing states, it might warp the data a little bit. But I think the narrative with Arizona is it is a Republican lean in 2028. That's where I would put it right now. Now we'll see what the polls when they come out and stuff and everything. But you win a state by 5.5. That's supposedly a swing state. I would say it's definitely a Republican lean, just like these states are Democrat leans. Like Minnesota's lean liberal, Virginia's lean, New Mexico's lean, and I would say New Jersey is lean as well at this point. Although you could argue New Jersey. I mean, New Jersey was a crazy swing, and we'll see if they can keep it up. I know the Republican GOP in New Jersey is not good, so if they up that, maybe it's even going to be better for New Jersey, and maybe it does seriously become a swing state, which could be a really, really good setup for Republicans not needing to win any of the blue wall states, although honestly, based off of population shifts, they already shouldn't need to win any of them because Republican states should have more electoral votes. Liberal states like California and New York should have less, but with the census not updating until 2030, technically in 2028, they could do the blue wall and win just based off of those states and still lose all the Sun Belt. But if they lose New Jersey, then they're screwed. So New Jersey, and listen, that's the thing with Arizona that's different. It was such a good win for Trump, but it was kind of strange how we didn't see any of the swing states outside of Arizona really have significant margins. And I guess with the Rust Belt, it was expected. It's always going to be close. North Carolina, it does seem like there are more liberals moving in. So that maybe cut into some of Trump's potential 4 or 5 point win to around a 3-point win. Georgia is a state that's a little bit worrying for 2028 based off of the suburbs around Atlanta. But it was, a 2.5 point win for Trump. But Arizona is the one. Even Nevada might be a very slight tilt Republican in 2028 based off of a 3-point win for Trump and just the way that state is trending. So we'll have to see. But either way, guys, that is going to do it for this video. Make sure you follow me on X. Link to that's always in the description.